Alright, I mean, at this point it would be time to put oil in the engine if the rest of the engine was still here. It's kind of not, as you can tell. So, I'm going to continue doing things. I'm going to try and take care of everything on the passenger side, get the alternator in place, get the air conditioner bracket in. I'm not going to install the fan yet, but I will have that bracket in along with the idle pulley, which is what the air conditioner sits on top of. Okay, we're going to continue putting things in. This time we got the alternator. And, well, this, folks, is an alternator. It spins and stuff, just like everything else. I left the nut on the back, so I was smart with that. The other one is a connector. It's pretty easy to connect and disconnect. So, things that I've figured out so far, trying to figure out how the hell this thing goes back on. There's a bolt down here. You put the alternator over that bolt first, and you can use it as a pivot point, and then this one's the one that you... This big bolt right here, it's the only size that fits in there. That'll hold it in place. We got this strange looking bracket, which goes something like that, I believe, but they don't line up by like a very small amount of stuff. I'm not sure why. Oops. And then we got two bolts that I have no idea where they go. We got a bolt here, and this nut fits there. We got a bolt here, and that nut fits there. I don't know where they go. So yeah, I don't know. On the timing cover, we got 4 bolt holes, and this one fits in here. I'm sure it could fit other ones too, but this is the only one that makes sense, because this bolt hole is for the air conditioner bracket. So we got 1, 2, and 3, and I have how many bolts? 4 total, but don't forget about that one. So all these bolts go in all these holes somehow. I don't know. I don't remember if this goes on first or second or last or yeah. But I can do that. I don't know if I can do it one-handed, but take a Mr. Alternator. Don't drop the soap. Oh shit. Let's get a good grip. You're gonna become part of the grip. Oh yeah. Almost got it. Okay, here we go. So that one, you can barely see, it's barely sitting on there, and it pivots. So now I can raise it up and down. But I mean, it's only got 1 bolt, so I don't know. Stuff, man. Stay. Ouch. Hey. Right, I'm gonna put you down, but I don't know. I'll figure out how the fuck it goes back together. Okay, gotta figure it out. This is the way the bolts go. This is bottom, this is top. So it looks like this. And we got long bolt, long bolt. Actually, we got, these are both the same size, I think. They look, oh, sorry. They look about the same size. And then there's the shorter one. The shorter one goes on the bottom. So all of them get a nut on the front, and the top one gets a nut on the back. Like so. You gotta install all of these before you put them in. You can't put them in separately because they got these back nuts on there, unless you take those off or something, which I don't know if you can. But they all kind of slip into their separate doohickey holes, like something like that. Don't ask me how I just did that. That was pretty cool. I hope they all fit. I don't know. Should be something like that, I think. Maybe the bottom one doesn't go in yet because it's shorter. Did I make it all in? Top one, middle one, bottom one. I don't know. I'll tighten them up and see what happens. And then this last bolt right here goes through this, through the alternator, and then through here. Alright. Do this. Alright, so I found out that I did get the bolts in the right spot from what I can tell, but it's easier to take the bracket off and screw each nut down separately. This one's loose, so that didn't matter, but then I was having problems with these two, So you should tighten these down and then put the bracket on. That one bolt was on there stuck real good, so that's why I didn't take it off. But yeah, tighten these down separately and then put the bracket on. It's a lot easier. Alright, so here we are. Got our alternator bracket in there. The larger bolt that goes to the alternator is different size than all these other three. All these other three are the same size. So this one gets a nut. I have one more nut, and I think I know where it's supposed to go, but now I'm confused on why I have it. I'll show you why. Oh, okay. So underneath, you can see our lovely bracket. And right there, I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be a stud or a bolt or a nut or something that goes through there, and I'm confused as to why it's broken, because I'm pretty sure I have the nut that goes there, but there's no stud. So I guess I must have broken off inside. I don't know. I mean, the alternator is still being squeezed between the bracket and the mount, and it's sitting on the stud almost all the way. So, I don't know. That shouldn't cause a problem, but if it does, it's all the way at the bottom, so it shouldn't be ridiculously difficult to replace. So yeah, interesting encounters with alternators. Oh, this Jeep in general has got a lot of stuff. Alright, so last thing, I've got this positive cable here, or at least I'm hoping it's positive, it's red, and we got this adapter. Oops, this adapter. So it's pretty simple stuff. I kept the nut on there, so it's nice and easy to do. You just take this off. Also, my battery's disconnected, as it should be when you're working on vehicles, especially the electrical part of them. Put that guy on there. Maybe a little better than that. Tighten her down. Okay, whatever. And the second part, once you get that in, or do this one first, doesn't matter. This one just clicks back into place, like so. Ta-da! And then once you get that tightened down, this rubber boot will go over and cover this. So I'm going to tighten that down. After that, alternator is done. So let me do that. Ugh, get the hell out of my face. So here we are, alternator finally in place. And there's that's what it's supposed to look like on the back. 10mm nut holds that down, and the little rubber boot goes over it to cover it, protect it, make it nice. Alright, so we're getting there. It's a lot more to go. So we got our alternator bracket right here. I found this bolt and this bolt. They fit in there. They go nicely. If we go underneath, there's a pivot bolt that goes in there. That was the one bolt that we didn't have in the timing cover yet. Goes like that. And then there's a nut on the back. Now if you notice, there's a bolt hole over there, but I don't know if I have that bolt. I don't really know. But these two and that stabilizer should be decent. A lot more of the force is going to sit on this nut or bolt, but I don't know. If I can't find it, I don't know. But yeah, just things to remember. There's other things too, but I guess I'll tighten them down. Alright, so the bolts aren't in for the alternator yet, but air conditioner. Man, my words are just all over the place. But we got a lot more shit now. Look at that. It's starting to become more of an engine. Once I slip those bolts all the way through and tighten them down, that is everything on the passenger side of the car besides spark plugs. That's literally the only thing that's left to do. I'm thinking about getting new spark plugs. That's why I didn't put the old ones in yet. But yeah, new spark plugs on the passenger side's done. So now it's all driver side stuff.